You're on 100.3 FM at the Sounds of MacArthur. Greg Bryant with you for the Aussie Collection Show. It's now time for this week's guest for Acoustics in the Room. Please welcome Nicki Gillis. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, no, not a problem. I just I can't believe how much everything's changed out here. How wonderful.
Changed a lot around
here.
And now you grew up in Western Australia. Do you miss it?
I miss the beautiful white beaches. Of course, I miss my family. Yeah. It's always tough, but I guess for me, it's hard to say in Perth that there isn't the opportunity to perform as much as there is on the east coast of Australia, as you can imagine. Yeah. But also, as far as connecting to the rest of the world, really, it's easier to be here.
And you've toured in the UK a lot. Is that what's different about there to here when you tour?
It's very different, actually. In fact, the UK and Europe is very different. The audiences are wonderful. There's a different culture for music in Europe. So I think there's a lot more music fans than there are here in Australia. I find that Australia is more sport. Sport. Whereas I find that in Europe, they're more sport and music. Yeah. You know, they might be sport fans, mad sport fans, but they still appreciate music. Whereas it's just different. Yeah.
And you brought your guitar in.
I did bring my guitar in.
So we'd love to hear a live track. What are you going to play first?
I'm actually going to play Remember Me. This was about having children and about the fact that you go from being you and all of a sudden everyone's excited for you that you're having a baby. And then you have a baby and it's all about the baby. So I think a lot of the time as a new mum, you get lost in the wash. You get lost in amongst, nappies and feeding and no sleep. And this song's all about remembering that there's you too.
Here it is, 100.3.
Used to be the life of the party, living love on the run. I left a trail of broken hearts, but I was only starting a ship of life. I'd only just begun. I used to be the one that you could go to and do it right and get it in on time. No matter what the problem was, I'd always be the one to smooth things out and make it all just fine. Remember me, I was always gonna change the world. Remember me, I was always someone's brown-eyed girl. I was always living for that moment to be free. Remember me. I used to be the girl he'd always dreamed of. He used to phone me 15 times a day. He'd take me out driving, loving every moment and hanging on to every word I'd say. I had some friends who used to tell me, just enjoy it while you can. Time's a thief who'll rob you blind while you're out busy dreaming, living life and making other plans. Remember me, I was always gonna change the world. Remember me, I was always someone's brown-eyed girl. I was always living for that moment to be free. Remember me. Pick the toys up from the lounge room. I haven't had a manicure in years. I see my face in the mirror through my tears. Remember me, I was always gonna change the world. Remember me, I was always someone's brown-eyed girl. Remember me, I was always gonna change the world. Remember me, I was always someone's brown-eyed girl. I was always living for that moment to be free. Remember me. Oh,
Nicki Gillis there on 100.3. That was awesome.
Thank you.
And I have to say, the first song I heard of yours, which was a long time ago, was Leaving You For Myself.
Ah, Leaving You For Myself. Yes, that, and off Lucy's Daughter. And I have to say thank you so much to all the fans who do still play my music. I still get comments from people saying Lucy's Daughter is still my favourite album. So I think that was the first time I actually wrote songs that were, I guess, a bit more about my life and a bit more truer to myself. So maybe they connect, and so I'm very grateful.
Yeah. And when you do write, what's the process for when you're writing music?
It all depends. It all depends. Sometimes I get inspiration when I should really be getting out the door to be somewhere important. Thankfully, the good old iPhone has a great app called Voice Memo, which saves me a lot now. At least I can sing into my voice memo and keep that a hold on that song. Sometimes it starts with a melody. Sometimes it starts with a lyric. Sometimes it all just comes to me all at once. So I don't have a true process unless I'm songwriting and co-writing, which I have done a fair bit of lately. So, that's a whole different process again.
Good thing about the voice memo, if you're driving and you think of something, you don't have to pull over to write it down.
Correct. Very grateful.
And you performed at a lot of festivals around. Have you got a favourite one?
You know what? I don't have a favourite festival. I have favourite festivals. Of course, here in Australia, no one can go past the Tamworth Festival, Country Music Festival, but Gympie's still dear to my heart, and I hope to get back to Gympie soon to perform. I won the Gympie Muster Talent Search in '96, and that's really because I was a girl from Western Australia, and there's no other way I could have been seen or heard. So I'm really, really lucky to have won that in 1996, because that's really what started me off, and then a lot of support from some great people in the industry that got me going. So, but in the UK, there's a fabulous festival called the Americana Festival, which I get to perform at. And the UK do festivals really well. Let me just say. Rain, hail, shine, wind, whatever. They know how to do festivals. And also Europe as well. Street festivals in Europe, fabulous to perform at.
I saw you a few years ago at the Entrance Central Coast Festival.
Yeah.
Looking over the water. That was nice.
Was that the one where it rained just before we went on? That's from my band. That year we travelled to lots and lots of festivals, and the Denny Ute Muster, we'd got to the Denny Ute Muster and it hadn't rained for years. And as soon as I got on stage, it poured with rain. And then at the entrance, it rained just before we started on stage. So my band are now called the Rainmakers.
And do you have a career highlight so far?
Oh, gosh. Career highlight. Goodness me. No, there's many of those too. I think fresh in my mind, winning the Frank Highfield International Spur Award in 2009, which is how I now tour the UK and Europe, was thanks to Frank giving me that opportunity. I think all of my tours with Forces Entertainment, entertaining the troops around the world. I think also when one of my songs goes to number one in the charts somewhere in the world, it's pretty special.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And have you got some new music coming out?
I sure do. I actually have I have a duet coming out very soon, not of a new song, but of a classic song. So I won't tell you too much, but I'll send it to you as soon as it's ready to come out. I also have some other co-writes that I'm about to release throughout, hopefully 2 more through this year, and then it'll sort of flow on from there. But I have been writing, and now it's time to get the music out.
Can't wait to hear some more.
Thank you.
And you've been touring with doing the Carole King, the Tapestry?
I have. I've got another show on the 7th of April at Juniors. So it's not that far from here, is it?
Not too far.
I should try and get it out here. But if you'd like to come along, it's called Tapestry in Concert. So what we do is the first half of the show are all the songs that Carole King wrote for other people, like the Beatles, the Monkees, all the classic beautiful songs, also like One Fine Day and Up on the Roof, all those fabulous songs that she wrote. But then the second part of the show, we take you back to 1972. We put you in your lounge room, and then we play the entire Tapestry her album from start to finish. So
she's a great songwriter.
Oh, isn't she fabulous? And as a singer, she's just a beautiful writer that you actually enjoy singing the songs. So come along April 7 to South's Juniors.
And hopefully we might be able to get it out here.
Hopefully. We'll have to work on that.
Do you have a favourite Carole King song?
Oh, You've Got a Friend.
Yeah, that's
Can't
my
go
favourite
past
as well.
You've Got a Friend. It's such a great song.
And what's the best way for people to contact you, to see more gigs and more information?
I think the wonderful platform of Facebook. Go and like my page. And that's probably the best way. I do try to keep my website updated, but we're just so incredibly busy. And it's funny, I was trying to not, well, now I'm not trying to think of how long it took me to actually release some new material because you're just on the road so much.
Yeah.
That time goes so quickly and trying to keep updated all the time. So Facebook, definitely, I think the Nicki Gillis page on Facebook is probably the best way, or the website. We do the best we can.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
And we're going to finish another live one. What are you going to finish with?
Well, Sinners Leaving You For Myself is your most favourite. We'll do Leaving You For Myself. How's that?
Sounds good. Here it is, 100.3.
She packed her bags and she closed the door. She hadn't done this kind of thing before. Grabbed the keys and she started the car. Down the road she didn't care how far. Childhood sweethearts from their very first kiss. Who'd ever thought that it would come to this? If something was wrong, it didn't enter his head. So she wrote him a note and this is what it said. I'm not running to the arms of somebody new. You know, honey, that's something I couldn't do to you. I'm not leaving you for somebody else. I don't mean to leave you on the shelf. I'm leaving you for myself. In a motel room, room service and shooting the moon. She never, ever, ever felt so free, just doing what comes naturally. She didn't care what tomorrow might bring. She almost didn't hear that telephone ring. She picked it up, heard his voice on the line. She said, hello, baby, well, I'm doing just fine. I'm not running to the arms of somebody new. You know, honey, that's something I couldn't do to you. I'm not leaving you for somebody else. I don't mean to leave you on the shelf. I'm leaving you for myself. I'm not leaving you for somebody else. I don't mean to leave you on the shelf. I'm leaving you for myself. I'm leaving you for myself.
Nicki Gillis there. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you.
Come back anytime.
Love to.
100.3